I did it. And we are live. So happy Tuesday. So it's just the beginning of the week. For some, it's actually the middle of the week. But today we've got, I think it's a very interesting, but also super important topic for personal life and business lives. I'm going to let you present it.
Thank you. So the topic is around truth telling. And the thing about truth telling is if you are somebody who has the need to please and you are a people pleaser, and I've been working with somebody who has had this challenge, and I know that you've mentioned that you've had that challenge. And I think if you have that, it just kind of goes into all areas of your life, and you end up doing stuff that you really don't want to do. You really don't want to do, but you don't want to say no, and it makes you feel bad. And then you're upset that the other person's going to be upset. But as soon as you set yourself free and you are in a very kind way, but very clear and honest way, it just kind of sets you free. It enables the other person to make a choice. It makes you can make an informed choice, and everyone's just being completely honest without doing things that they don't want to do, which ends up building resentment and frustration. And that never ends well. Never ends well.
Look, I understand what you're saying, but on the other hand, it's also not so easy, to stop that part of the pleasing. And in a way, it's like for everyone, it's come from different reasons, from different type of things that happen in their past, childhood or whatever. But it's not that easy, and you do need to find a way to balance it, as well with like on personal life, but as well from a business, right? Because we are talking about all the time how it is important to be authentic, right? And if you are struggling to be honest about certain thing and you tell the truth, so how can you be fully authentic? How can you expect people to understand what your brand is all about and who you are? And I think a lot of the time we actually sometimes it's like from the pleasing side, agreeing to do certain stuff for our clients that we don't really want to do. And it doesn't have a reason behind it, yeah?
Or that we are not skilled in that area. There's when it comes to sort of personal development and it comes around people working on themselves, that is my area of niche, absolutely. But when it comes to finance and accounting and marketing and social media, that's not my thing. So if people are going to be coached on that, then they mustn't come to me. And I would have no problem saying, well, I'm not your person for that. So I think that's also truth telling is which goes back to your thing about, niching yourself and to be honest about where your strength lies and where you don't. That's not your area. So it's in all areas, right?
It is in all areas. And I think but this is such a wide topic that there's so much to say about it, because you need to be able to say the truth in your relationships. You need to be able to say the truth to yourself. And of course, also to your clients, to your partners, to everyone. Because eventually, as before we started, I said, I love that saying of Osho that it says, the truth is bitter in the beginning, but sweet in the end, versus the lie that it's maybe sweet in the beginning, but it's bitter in the end. And eventually in everything, because if you're going to do, again, something for your clients that you don't really like or that you don't really fully understand about it, it will burst in your face. Okay, one way or another. Is it going to be because you're not going to be able to do what they want you, or you are not going to, at one point you're going to get angry or frustrated and it's going to come out on them from that side. As well, on your personal life, if someone tells you, let's say your partner tells you to do something and you keep on doing it, but you hate it, eventually you will have so much grudge about that person. It's going to explode.
Yeah, I think the same thing with that is if you get a client where you are not compatible, we can't be compatible with everybody. It's just not, I don't know. I think if you're compatible with everybody, then I question your authenticity, because we can't be all things to all people, and even from a compatibility perspective. So I think the same thing with the client, if you're not feeling that you are a right fit, and I'm sure it's the same for you, but I can guarantee you it's the case for me, that if we're not a good fit, we can't work together, because why would the person want to spend their time and their money on me, and why would I want to spend time with them if we were not compatible? And there's so many people doing various forms of coaching, various forms of marketing. So choose your person that's right for you. You've got to feel a connection to the person you work with.
And I think that's why I always say like that, like in the small business side, there's not really such a thing of a competition. Because eventually, like you're saying, there's a lot of coaching there. There's also a lot of people that do like marketing strategies and mentoring and all of this. But everyone's got their own story, got his own personality, got his own way of looking at things, own way of working. And it is like I always say, like, for example, if someone want to work with me, it needs to understand that they're going to work hard. Okay, so it's not for lazy people because there's lots of homeworks and like assignments that you need to do. So that's why, like, I know that I cannot be for everyone because some people will just want me to come and do their stuff for them, right? And that's the thing people missing out. Like, you cannot be everything to everyone, and you really need to niche yourself. But also, you niche yourself for yourself, okay? Because you don't want to work with people that are not in the same like mindset as yours, okay? Because it's gonna create a certain type of like gap between what you trying to deliver to what they expecting you're gonna deliver, and it can destroy your brand. And that's why, like, as honest as you can be with yourself, okay, about who you are, what's your business about, what you're doing, even in a relationship, as much as you know about yourself, and be honest and put it out there, it's really going to help you grow on a personal level, but also on a business level. And I think that's the tough part, right? To tell the truth to ourselves, to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, because I mean, there are a lot. It's very, very, very common for people to have the need to please and not to be able to say no. It's such a common thing. So if that's something that you are struggling with and you are finding it hard, I would love to work with you. Exactly. I would love to work with you. I'd love to chat to you about it because it's definitely something that you can change. It's not something that has to stay forever. It's something that you can, if you want to. And I'm very much with you. I mean, my clients also are required to do self-awareness and self-observation and practices in between the sessions. So it is requiring work. So if you don't want to do the work, then no, don't do the coaching. Absolutely. Well, with me anyway. So I agree with you. It does require work for sure.
It is. And you know, eventually everyone's got their own way of dealing with things. And we would love to hear in the comments or on a private message, what do you think, like what helped you with this? And it doesn't matter if you watch it on like after the live. But I said, for example, that because I don't know how to say no to people, well, I am learning more and more to say it, but I'm still struggling. I just found like a creative solution that fits me, right? Like I'm surrounding myself with people that will be easier for me to say no because, or that I don't really need to say no because I know the type of friendship and things that it's like a give and take. So I'm not feeling like badly. But as well, like I don't always know how to say it, but I also, as we always say, that you need to push yourself to do things outside of your comfort zone. So that's something that I'm doing with myself. Like I sometimes agree to certain things in order for me to learn to say the no after and see how I deal with that situation after. And in the past, I would maybe avoid the topic or figure out a way to, I don't know, move it away. But I need to deal. So it's not easy. And that's why if you're not sure how to deal with this, you're more than welcome to contact Bridget. She will help you and guide you. And again, from a business perspective, if you're not sure if you're niching the right target market, and if you're not sure that your message is super clear, you can also come to me because that's the thing. In order for this, you need to work on yourself. Like if you want to succeed as entrepreneur, you really need to have that combination of pushing yourself from a personal development side, but also using it to build your brand the right way.
Absolutely. And yeah, and then with our book, if you're also wanting tips, there the links in both of our Instagram bios if you want to know more. Yeah.
And we'll see you on Friday, guys.
Bye.